speaks from. Between 1996 and the year 2003, Voices led over 70 delegations, delivering much-needed humanitarian aid. Kathy went to Iraq herself 24 times during this time. Our own Bill and Gene Basinger was one of those delegations. They discovered what was going on in Abu Ghraib long before the photos made the truth real to us Americans. In the year 2002, Voices in the Wilderness moved to Baghdad and remained alongside the Iraqi citizens throughout Operation Shock and Awe, and the second U.S.-led war in Iraq. And they maintained a household in Baghdad until March of 2004. This household was not in the green zone. This household was with regular citizens and people in Baghdad. And by the time in 2004, it became too dangerous for Westerners to be even in Baghdad and in Iraq. And they left. Mostly because it was not only dangerous for you Westerners, but it was doubly dangerous for anyone in Iraq who was with Westerners or protecting Westerners. And out of concern for the people who were offering them hospitality, they left Iraq in 2004. And during this same period, in April of 2002, she was among the first internationals to visit the Jenin Palestinian refugee camp, where the Israeli Defense Forces criminally destroyed over 100 civilian homes in the occupied West Bank. And she and three of her companions from Voices also were in Beirut, Lebanon, during the final days of the Israeli-Hezbollah war in the summer of 2006, and subsequently reported from southern Lebanon following the ceasefire, reports of the truth about what happened in southern Lebanon that we didn't get in our media here in America. And as a result of ironies here, of their humanitarian efforts in Iraq, the United States government found Voices guilty of violating the U.S. sanctions, and they imposed a $20,000 fine on Voices, which of course they never paid and never will. They disbanded the Voices of the Wilderness, and they reinvented themselves as the Voices for Creative Nonviolence. With the Voices of Creative Nonviolence, Kathy and her friends have been stirring up trouble all over this country. We here in Iowa, the Catholic Peace Ministry and the Des Moines Catholic Worker, were privileged to work with Kathy and Voices on our joint Seasons of Discontent, a presidential occupation project campaign dubbed Soda Pop, an effort to get the presidential candidates to take a stand against the war in Iraq during the Iowa caucuses through direct action. We managed to occupy about 6 or 7 people who were running for president's offices. When we were bipartisan, we went after the Democrats just as equally as the Republicans. In the year 2007, Kathy returned to the Middle East and spent 5 months in Amman, Jordan, living amongst the Iraqis who had fled their homelands and were seeking resettlement. Again, getting close to the truth about the wars we've initiated and sustained and back in the Middle East. A truth that we don't hear about, but hopefully I'm sure we'll hear about tonight. And just this year, Kathy visited the people of Gaza after the brutal and criminal bombings and invasion of the Israeli Defense Forces that left close to 1,500 Palestinians dead, most of them children and women, and thousands wounded. God help us. We pay $10 million a day for what's going on over there in Palestine and Israel. Tonight, she joins us from Creech Air Force Base in Indian Springs, Nevada. She just flew in from Nevada, where our own Brian Terrell and Renee Esplin are joined by others for the Ground the Drones Witness and Direct Action. The drones being the unmanned missiles that the U.S. uses extensively these days in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And Creech Air Force Base being where these god-awful weapons are